Dear St. Luke's Parish, I hope and pray that this annual meeting report finds you all healthy and well. Like every other area of life, parish life has been uprooted by COVID-19. The Episcopal Diocese of Milwaukee continues to exercise an abundance of caution for people's physical health, which is why we are still not meeting for in-person worship. I know that not everybody agrees with this amount of caution, but as your priest, know I am grateful for your patience and willingness to talk about it with me and remain connected to St. Luke's. As per current diocesan guidelines, we would only possibly be allowed to come to church in two ways currently. First, everybody would come in their cars and stay in their cars. They would be pre-screened for symptoms, masked, and then would stay in their car while I hand communion to them on a plate to receive and give to one another before driving away. Or it might be possible to have a service where people could walk in one entrance of church after being pre-screened for symptoms and masking up, like our main entrance, walk up the aisle to the altar where I would drop a communion host in their hands and pray with them, and then they would exit out a different exit before the next person or family unit comes in, like our handicapped exit on Euclid. Either way, in either possibility, we would not be able to gather together with each other. And that is what I am hearing most of you long for and want when it is safe and allowed. For that reason, I have chosen to keep our life primarily virtual right now. But please do know that I am open to conversations about this anytime. On January 1st, 2021, the Standing Committee officially took over leadership of the diocese as our previous bishop, Stephen Miller, retired. We will be served by two assisting bishops, think on-call bishops, until April 1st. Bishop Matt Guntner, who is currently the Episcopal Bishop of the Diocese of Fond du Lac, and the newly retired Bishop Keith Moore, formerly of North Dakota. On April 1st, Bishop Jeff Lee, a newly retired bishop from the Diocese of Chicago, will become our provisional bishop until we elect a permanent bishop, and that could take some time, a year or two. Know that I will keep you all posted on updates surrounding the election of a new bishop, but I will also keep you posted as the Standing Committee and or provisional bishop may make changes to the guidelines allowing for in-person worship. As your priest, in the midst of all that, just know that I miss you all profoundly. I miss seeing your faces and getting Sunday updates about life and health, joys and struggles. I miss the delicious food and the lively conversations at coffee hours. I miss the energy, creativity, and playfulness of our youngest parish members. I miss celebrating and receiving Jesus in the sacrament of Holy Communion. I miss the wonderful tradition we've started of people coming up to lay hands on those who wish to be anointed during our Sunday liturgy. And I know we all miss with broken hearts the beloved, beautiful souls we lost this past year from St. Luke's. Joan, Larry, Arlene, and Stephen. We will have a fitting celebration of their lives and ability to gather and grieve and pray with and comfort one another when we're able to gather together again in person. While I miss a lot, though, I have also discovered a lot about St. Luke's, for which I am profoundly grateful as your priest. I have experienced again and again our hearts and our arms opening in new and life-giving ways. We opened our hearts and arms by learning and utilizing new technology that can help us connect not only with our regular parishioners, but with people who might normally never step through our doors. Our virtual liturgies on Sundays, along with our pause and pray weekday reflections, are reaching a much broader audience, and the response has been tremendously positive. To make this possible, we've extended Wi-Fi throughout the entire parish complex and have purchased the necessary recording equipment and software to put together our virtual liturgies and reflections. We also built an entirely new website that is easier to update and more versatile to help us meet our technological needs and share God's love in new ways. And I'm grateful to Anna and Julie for helping me put that website together, and to all of you who help provide feedback and continue to provide feedback to tweak it, because like us, it's a work in progress. We opened our hearts and arms to one another by purchasing a Zoom license as well. That is allowing us to have weekly morning prayer, Taizé prayer, coffee hours, book studies, vestry meetings, Sunday school, and Bible study on a regular basis. All of these offerings are helping to keep us connected and are bearing life-giving fruit. To make all of these technology upgrades possible, we received a $500 grant from the diocese, which helped offset much of the costs, and we're grateful to them for their ongoing support. We opened our hearts and arms by expanding leadership here in key areas of parish life. After many wonderful years of dedicated leadership in so many areas of our parish life, Mike and Linda B. have stepped back to accommodate a move and greater family responsibilities. A wonderful team, though, has stepped up to continue the good ministry begun by them in our giving garden, led by Adrian C. and Sarah H. This team has opened our hearts and arms to include neighbors, both helping to harvest our produce and enjoying the produce in our garden. Mike also stepped back from the work of treasurer at the end of 2020. I am so grateful for his dedicated and faithful ministry in that area. And in response, we've put together a finance team, including David B. as our new treasurer, Anna W., Mark K., Scott W., and myself. Expanding involvement will help sustain growth as no one person will need to shoulder all of the responsibility. I also want to thank Julie H. for putting together a team that created a pandemic cookbook as a way of helping to connect us in new ways during this time. We opened our hearts and arms to a new daycare partner, the Nestling House, after Mary Linsmeyer Daycare sadly closed because of the pandemic. Things are off to a good start with the Nestling House, and it is such a blessing to hear the noise of children on our playground again. We continue to open our hearts and arms to help our friends at Maleka Early Learning Center with summer school supply drives and St. Joseph's Academy with winter clothing. We've even opened our hearts and arms to now 3 new parish members who have joined during the pandemic. I just had another member join a few days ago, and I am in conversation with another one about joining St. Luke's in 2021. To say we have been busy during this pandemic is definitely an understatement. Without your generous support, we would not be able to open our hearts and arms in all the ways described above. I know that times continue to remain very uncertain and difficult for many of us, which is all the more reason why I am so grateful for the open hearts and arms we offer at St. Luke's. Thank you. As we look forward to 2021, though, I have a few goals that I would like to share with you. First, after spending much of 2020 learning new technology and skills, which was a learning curve for me, I really want to return to some of the more traditional ways of connecting with you, like phone calls, notes, and home visits following CDC and diocesan guidelines. I know that not everybody has felt connected to St. Luke's as others, and I will work to address that in the coming months. Second, I want to continue utilizing technology even when we are able to return to in-person worship and gatherings this year. We have been able to reach new people, as well as offer a convenient way for many to engage and connect with St. Luke's throughout the week thanks to technology, and we will continue that in the future. Third, I will focus on maintaining as much stability as possible as we all adjust to a new reality. 2020 was incredibly stressful for me personally when the daycare closed. I wasn't sure if Christy and I would be able to stay long-term with the economic impact. In truth, we are still going to be fragile financially in the near future. The new daycare is not renting the entire space yet. We are going to have to pay property taxes on the space they're renting. And we are going to have to stay in close communication with the diocese as we rely on their support too. I do not say any of this to cause panic. I merely say it because we need to be aware of all of the dynamics that have helped us enter into the work of redevelopment. We have been blessed with very responsible leadership for many years now at St. Luke's, and I have every belief and hope that will continue into this new future to help us maintain a healthy and holy stability. As always, if you feel there is something Vestry and I should be addressing in 2021, know that I want to hear from you. And please know that you all remain daily in my heart and prayer. Christy and I are so grateful for the opportunity to be part of this wonderful community of faith. I am humbled and honored to serve you all as your priest. And I look forward to all the ways in which God will surprise us and sustain us in the coming year. Peace.